Welcome to Biggest Fan, the podcast. This is our last episode in the studio.
Oh, I didn't realize we were doing the PSA.
Because we're moving out, baby.
We're moving out. It is the last
About
episode.
Friggin' time. But say goodbye to this room. It'll be the last time you see it.
Wow. I'm a little emo. I didn't expect it.
Are you emo about it? I'm not very emo about it. I'm like 5% emo about it.
I'm just laughing that these people have seen us in this room all 7 times you've seen us, and this is the last time. Yeah, I bet you guys
we
are
changed. There's
quite
very
emo.
nostalgic and attached to this. But no, we are. We'll be in a new space next episode. So
it's time. It's time for us to move forward in life.
It feels like right now we are in a beautiful moment where our baby is here, the house is sold, we're moving into kind of a new physical space. Feels like we're moving into a very new emotional, spiritual life place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we touched on that last time, but it's definitely very true that it feels like in this moment everything is happening on purpose at the same time.
Yeah. It's
just new season times 100.
And I am so here for it.
He is here for it.
I am
Say less, King.
Here for it. It's going to be the best summer of our friggin' lives.
Yeah, honestly, I do feel like, this is just a quick side note, that feeling of summertime never leaves you, does it? Like the 12 years of growing up where summer was everything, I feel like a kid. I haven't been in school.
Baby Rach is
like, it's
so jacked
summer.
right now.
Let's go. I am
Party.
yes. Jake and I have a little saying.
So dumb. I can't believe you're about to tell people this.
Probably like we've been married 10 years, probably 9 years ago. We were having just a stressful moment, or I was, and it was about this time of year. And I said, Jake, I just want to party all summer. Like, I just want to have fun. I don't want to worry about these things. And so now we say it could be December, and I'm like, it's time to party all summer.
And sometimes when we're really feeling it, we're like, I just want a PAS.
Oh yeah.
And
even sometimes that's the only way you reference
a lot of
it.
the times it's not even like we're not going to do anything about it. It's not like, okay,
by the way,
sweet.
this means making popcorn and watching a movie.
Yeah,
at
party
10
all summer
p.m.
for us just means I want to have fun. I want to have no responsibilities. Sit on the couch and watch.
But I think that's actually a very good our tiny bit of, if we were to ever give advice about marriage, is always have a party all summer attitude. We are in a season of life where we have 3 kids. 1 is a newborn. We're moving. We have a lot of responsibility. But having our party all summer moments, we have to have them. And it keeps us connected. It keeps us young. It keeps us hot. It keeps us fresh. But for real, that's a joke. But it is true that it just is an attitude thing.
I think so. And I think what I'm actually really in the last 5-6 weeks since Daly's been here, like, I think I've really been realizing coping is not necessarily a bad thing.
Okay.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Coping in an unhealthy way is obviously a bad thing. So it's like, okay, I'm feeling stressed. I'm tired. I'm maxed out with all of the things going on in my life. I'm just going to go binge eat, or I'm going to drink a whole bottle of whatever, or I'm going to go make a bad decision to cope for this. Or you can look at it as like, okay, I very understandably need a little bit of like a pressure release right now. I need a button to hit where I'm like, okay, for 5 minutes, I need to have some fun.
You're a baby who needs his pacifier?
I need my pacifier. I need a little bit of fun. And I think for us, that's kind of what Party All Summer has become. Because like, hey, I'm not saying I'm going to act on this, but right now I'm really feeling the need to just have a moment of escape. I have a moment where we just kind of like healthily cope.
Well, then probably coping would be not the right word.
Well, I think coping has
actually, maybe we have made coping negative.
It has a bad
but like
reputation. What's the word I'm looking for? Connotation.
But the actual Webster's definition of coaching would be just dealing with your issues.
I don't think it is a bad thing. So
okay,
I think if you could find,
let's revamp.
We
coping.
are copers.
Yeah,
join the coping podcast.
We are this summer. Coping is having a glow up, and basically, I actually. Okay, yeah. So
because like healthy coping could be like, ooh, I'm feeling whatever. I'm gonna go for a 30-minute jog. I'm gonna go run. I'm gonna get some dopamine. I'm gonna get some endorphins going. I need to cope a little bit. I'm gonna go for a jog. I'm gonna go for a walk around the neighborhood.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I find myself really resistant every time you say cope, but that's just my cultural brainwashing.
yeah,
huh?
probably
Because
because
the
I'm
word
here to
cope is-
unbrainwash you, baby girl.
Okay, so I had no clue that this was the.
This is something that's been brewing in the background, and here we are on the podcast talking about it. But I think it's actually a thing
Well,
because I have
yeah.
felt, obviously, we're very sleep deprived right now. And, when you're super sleep deprived and you've got a lot of chaos, like we're literally moving right now. So our
Mhm.
house is in disarray. Our life is,
Chaotic.
it's a little chaotic right now because, like, we're not,
Just circumstantially.
your norm, your
Yeah.
routines are totally thrown out the window. And so I felt myself a lot be like, oh man, I want something to make me feel different than I feel right now. And I've been praying about it. I'm like, okay, God, show me like a healthy way to look at this. And I feel like that's been the shift of like, find healthy ways to cope. Exercise, watching a movie with Rachel, connecting with Rachel, make it a great meal. It doesn't have to go, let's go, get ice cream and cookies and just binge
The
eat
all or
desserts.
nothing thing,
Yeah, it
which
can
is
be,
we both very much struggle with all or
it
nothing.
can be like, oh, I love this, pasta dish or this, whatever the thing is. It doesn't have to be filth. It can be a good thing.
So you're just talking about making healthy coping choices.
And giving yourself little things to look forward to. Like I love making my coffee in the morning. I look forward to that moment.
Yeah.
I mean,
You've
for the 5 minutes I'm awake.
Okay, by the way, this was so cute and so profound. And your brainwashing for Ruby has worked. She said to me last night, we were watching Ratatouille, and we started talking about artists. And what did she say? I said, she said something about, the main rat guy in Ratatouille. And I was
Remy.
like, Remy, thank you. Of course you remember his name.
Shout out
Jake is
Remy the
very
rat.
good with names. Does not know my birthday, but he will remember the name of a waiter.
Ratatouille left a mark. It will never
So
leave me. Low key, I love that movie.
Oh,
so
it's
much. Anytime they
fantastic.
watch it, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I'm staring.
Well, same. So last night, talking to Ruby about it, and I said, well, Remy is an artist. And she said, yeah, because you can be an artist for lots of different things. You can be an artist through flowers. You can be an artist who paints. You can be an artist with coffee.
Ooh.
She said with coffee.
Well,
That's not hitting you in the face the way that I want it to.
It's because I'm proud of my girl. We literally walked through. I was making your little latte art, which, by the way, our latte art right now, the best I can do is like a very, very bad heart. I'm working on it.
This is upsetting that for a man who's obsessed with coffee that you have not learned latte art.
Coffee.
I want my name in cursive.
Hold on. Coffee and lattes, totally different thing. I'm not a barista here, but back me up. If there is one barista on the planet who watches this podcast, back me up in the
It
comments.
feels that we should umbrella the
They're
whole
different.
thing.
They're different.
I understand, but I need my name in cursive. I need my art moment, okay? Anyway, before you go down that alleyway.
You are. That is such a you thing to say. Is you want your name in cursive on your latte
Okay,
art.
sorry. Would you prefer that I get Jake in cursive?
I don't know. Maybe.
Mickey?
Maybe. Yeah, definitely. I need to get Mickey's face like very realistic. Like, you know how they have those latte arts where you can like screen a picture on
Oh,
that?
yeah.
That's what I'm going to get, but it's going to be free-handed, baby.
Okay. So
We over here.
I just thought it was so, half the things we tell these kids, you don't know what's getting through. But the fact that the lesson that you can make anything art got through to her
It's beautiful.
as a 4-year-old, especially when it's your
especially
preferred
since you
medium of
said,
coffee.
and you said that I brainwashed her. So, hey, here we are. It's working.
Okay, but having said that, I do feel like I'm really resisting using the word coping, but making something like coffee your way of, I need a dose of good in my day when I'm feeling stressed. So I'm going to use my coffee art, or I'm going to use running.
I think you could even say like, I need something fun, or I need like a little bit of a pressure release.
Okay, this is a very good point that I was
Coping
thinking
to me
about.
still is not a bad word, but like if you say pressure release, it's good. I need something to look forward
I
to.
also just want to add a little addendum that this is very funny that you of all people is like, let's give coping a good reputation. Because Jake has an addictive personality.
A very
and if you
addictive
want me,
personality.
if that needs to
It's
be
true.
cut, but I know
It's
that
true.
Jake would gladly talk about that from the pulpit because he has a full-on addictive personality, and
I will justify it. I can make it look.
He'll be like,
I
"What do
will
you
package it the way I need
12
it to be.
Krispy Kremes is actually healthy because I didn't eat enough yesterday, so I'm actually this is a good choice
I'm
for
already
me."
in a caloric deficit, so like this is okay.
And the man believes it. But I do agree with what you're saying. Okay, what I was going to say was I do think kind of a negative part of, I don't know if it's therapy culture or just whatever it is, but we all know too much right now. And I do feel like
Preach.
there is, here's my 12 habit stacks I do to start my day well. And here's the 14 things to do to be a healthy person. And if you have a headache, then it's probably these 64 things you're doing wrong in your day. And I think that that's all very overwhelming. And I think in that, something that I struggle with is if I am in a place where I'm very stressed and I want to cope in an unhealthy way, but adult me is like, okay, what is something healthy I could do? I have been brainwashed to think it has to be like, well, what's the therapy version that you should do? You need to sit and, I actually love to journal, so I'm not going to use that example, but it has to be this kind of serious, healthy. It can't be fun, or it can't be just a simple, I do think people talk about going for a walk a lot, but I think I have believed this version of it needs to be eat your vegetables. You know, it needs to be a little
straight celery juice all the time.
Yes, celery juice. You need to go on a fast, and then you'll come out the other side, and maybe then you can watch one episode of TV. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like once you've punished yourself, then you can do this.
But obviously, it's not branded as punishing. It's just branded as healthy or mature. I also think maybe that feeds into my real issue with all of this stuff that we're talking about is when I'm in a hole, I don't want to get better. I want to bury myself there. That is my struggle as a human.
Yeah, you just want to make it worse before it gets better. It's like you go all in.
I am the all or nothing. We both do it like I just said, but we have different versions of it. And for me,
we kind of have similar versions.
We have a Venn diagram. Wait, is that thing with the thing in the middle? Okay, yeah. We have that. Where we have, right? The thing where there's
it's kind of the logo of our podcast with the two smileys.
Yes,
in there.
That's us. So we have our similarities and then we have our different versions of it. But wow. I wonder if my brain will come back one day, or if things like Venn diagram are going to feel like just the pregnancy into no sleep.
You're crushing it.
Is your name Jake?
I think so.
Okay, great. So I feel like for me, when I am in a bad day, you've seen me do this. You will be like, let's pick up our steps and be happy. And I am like, no, let me tell you 14 reasons why it's a bad day. And it's hard for me to do this, even the simple thing, which I know will make getting outside and going for a walk will always, always make me feel better.
Same.
Even just a little bit. And I really resist doing the little simple things. And maybe that's why I get addicted to the mindset of, well, no, here's like the elaborate life you have to live in order to be a healthy, happy person.
Yeah.
And because it's like, well, I can't achieve that. Therefore, I can't be happy. Therefore, I'll sit in my hole right now and just mope for 3 days until I finally can pull myself up by the bootstraps.
Yeah. And I definitely see you do that.
Thank you.
I think one thing that's really interesting in our marriage.
Go on. I want to hear every bit of this. I actually really do.
One thing that's really interesting in our marriage, our personalities, we are kind of polar opposites in the way that we like our baseline.
I agree, except for we've got that big old Venn diagram
huge Venn diagram that we party all summer. But where when you are having a hard day, you have to go all the way to the other end.
You are Michelle Obama. When I go low, you go high. And I am definitely I go low.
You go low.
I go low.
But you have to, it's almost the therapeutic thing for you to say the worst possible. You have to go ring that bell, and then you can be like, okay, cool. It's not all doom and gloom. I can come back and find the middle. But for me, if I even look at that bell, I'm terrified.
Yeah, so
I have to be like, no, it's fine. I'm good. I just need another cup of coffee, and I will be okay. I need the 5th cup of coffee for the day, and then maybe a 6th, but I'll be okay. And I can push through this. And you're
his eyes get so bloodshot, and it's so scary.
She calls him my red rabbit eyes.
I'm like, oh my gosh, he says he's fine, but the red rabbits are screaming.
There's like a tear coming down over here. Yeah. But it's taken me 10 years, and I'm just now starting to grasp the moments where I have to just let you, because my instinct is to stop you from ringing the bell.
Your instinct is the classic male-female problem, which is you want to fix me, and I want you to just hear me and let me sit in it for a minute.
However, sometimes...
No, I agree. I already know what you're going to say.
Sometimes the solution, you know it. I know it. It's like, just go for a walk. You're going to feel 100 times better.
But that doesn't mean I want to hear you say it.
You don't want to hear it. I understand. You don't want to be fixed.
I also think when you say it, it's like, do you think I haven't thought of that?
Exactly.
Do you think I don't know that I am doing the opposite of what I should do to feel better? But I don't want to hear you say it. But what I was also...
Well, absolutely not. I mean, that is... I've learned that mistake too many times.
Yes, as have most husbands, I believe. But I do think what I thought you were going to say, I was wrong first time. I do think that sometimes I don't want you to fix it. Sometimes I want you to just hear me and just listen, even though we both know what I'm saying may not be true or whatever. May not be true in terms of, okay, it's not the worst day ever, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Sometimes, though, I need to borrow your superpower, and it's the blessing of our marriage that I need you to remind me of not just the truth, but your outlook on the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because you do have such an energy and such a positivity that is such a gift to me. And so there are moments where when as I've healed as a person, I obviously am not where I was 10, 15 years ago, 5 years ago even, in terms of staying in the hole and moping. I also want to break that.
You definitely have gotten a lot better.
Right. So I want to break that pattern. And when you do say the right thing in those moments of like, hey, it's going to be okay. It's just as simple as that. I don't need a soliloquy. I need just a simple truth from you. And that really can be the rope that I need to get out of the hole.
Well,
and my rope to you is get out of the clouds of delusion and denial, and I'll pull you down to earth a little bit.
You're kind of like, hey,
hey,
you realize
your eyes are redder than the sun, and you're scaring everyone.
You realize you don't need to take pre-workout and go for a 10-mile jog right now
you just
because
need to take a nap.
You haven't slept in 4 days.
This morning, we have our newborn who's already up.
I'm going to defend myself already. I know what I'm at.
He's up at 5 a.m. because he was just having a little gassy tummy and needed to, work it through.
Our son, not me. I was not having a gassy tummy. You definitely didn't clarify that one, but I seem to clarify.
I really did say our son, but I think that thou doth
my
protest too
postpartum
much
brain is
here. Okay. So our son was having a little bit of gas, and then our other son was also in the room. He came in at like 4 a.m.
Which is a pretty typical night.
It's right now. It's typical.
And I'm talking when he sleeps next to me. He is not like close to me. He's Velcroed to my back.
However, we've both discussed that it's a nice little back.
It's kind of nice. He kind of wedges himself under you, and you're kind of like, ooh.
You can like lean against him. It's as if you're on a wall.
He doesn't care.
No. So anyway, we have these boys in the room. I haven't, I've been nursing all night because that's the moment in time that we're in, but we're both up at 5, and we had a better night's sleep. Well,
we went to bed significantly.
We went to bed earlier. So that tiny touch of like an hour extra sleep, Jake at 5, by the time 5:30 rolls around, was like, hey, I'm going to go for a run really quick. And I was like, no. I was like, you're what? You're going to go for a run? Shepard's already like stirring. The baby's crying. I'm like, you think that again, the red rabbits were staring at me in the darkness. Well, you're exhausted.
I was seeing triple. I was so tired.
Seeing
and I
triple.
was dizzy.
By the way, it's raining on pitch black outside.
It wasn't raining yet.
The rain was, see the positivity. The rain was weighing down the clouds. Yeah. My point is.
You say 40% chance. I say that's 60% chance it's not going to rain.
Okay.
But to stop you right there.
It's really just a funny story that shows that you truly, in that moment, thought that was the best.
And to the point where I got downstairs, had my shorts, my socks, everything was ready to go. And you send me a text, you say, hey, can you come back up here for a second? And I was like, yeah, cool. And you were like, this is not the time. Because Shepard was like fully awake, running circles around the room. Daly's crying. You're nursing. And you were like, I think now's probably not the best time for you to go for a run.
Yes. However, then I was able to say, hey, but I promise you're going to get the run today. Because I know, 1, of course you can run today. And 2, you need that, like, this is going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's just that right now is not the best moment.
Yeah. Well, Mm-hmm.
What? I want to hear the end of that.
In this is kind of back to the healthy coping, but it's also an unhealthy version of healthy coping.
So it's just regular coping?
Well, no. It has exposed something in me.
Okay.
Are you done with that thought, though? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, no, it was just a funny story about your delusion of timing, being like, this is a great time.
So this is another thing with time blindness.
Time blindness, ADHD.
I've learned about ADHD folks is that we have a thing called time blindness. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, I have it bad.
Oh, that story was a perfect. Yeah. The worst way he does it, though, is we'll have, a very important meeting at 1:00, 12:55. He's like, well, I have time for that run now, right? And it's like, no. You actually need to be fully in a tuxedo for this very important meeting that we have. I don't know why this meeting
usually start getting ready when it's time for us to leave.
Yeah. Yes. Time blind. So this morning was a mixture of delusions of time plus
time blindness. But what it's brought out in me, I've noticed in this postpartum
adventure.
season, moment in time, is that I get really and I didn't used to be like this, I don't think.
Oh,
But I've gotten really, really, really fixated on like the one thing in the day that I need to do. And if I don't get to do it, it feels like the world is falling apart.
Well, you also, I think, would you agree that what makes it worse for you is not only are you attached to the thing you need to do, but you get attached to the timing of it.
Yeah.
So I knew when I texted you at 5:35, hey, I could really use the help. Could you run later? I'm like, even though I know
you even said it so kindly too. You weren't even like salty about it.
No, because I'm like, I know he needs this.
And it helped me be like, oh, yeah,
but I could see in the like your pupils went opposite ways because it was like you are struggling with you get attached to the time that you're going to do something. Like I'm going to eat lunch and then do this at 2 p.m. And I think that's always underneath festering inside you. But these types of seasons squeeze you and you see what you're made of and what you still struggle with.
Because like when you're in this, postpartum paternity leave moment that I'm in right now with you and the kids, the healthy thing for me to be would say, okay, I'm just going to accept that my schedule is just going to be a wash for the next few weeks. And it's okay. Like I'll get stuff done whenever we kind of come back into normal, find our routine. But right now, routine is a joke. Like we have a 5-week-old baby. We've got 2 toddlers running around. We're literally moving house. Probably not going to be the window of time where I'm going to get a lot of good running in.
That's probably why though at 5:30 you're like, now's the time because the rest of the day will be crazy.
Because I was already awake. I know typically Daly has another good little window and Sheppy sleeps until about like 7:30. So I was like, okay, I've got an hour and a half right now. I can go for a run. But then when you told me like, hey, now's probably not the best time, I then pictured like, okay, I'm 4 miles away from the house. Rachel calls me. Shepard's breaking windows. Daly's freaking out that you can't do anything because you're literally stuck to the bed. And then I'm 4 miles away, sweaty, and I've got to run 4 miles back. Well, and it might rain. I was like, okay, yeah. Maybe she's right. Maybe I should do this later.
I do think that, and maybe this is an ADHD part of this conversation, is the time blindness creates chaos in your life that you then have to cope with. Like, because you often make choices.
There it is again. We're back.
That get you what? Coping. That get you in those types of situations where then you're beating yourself up and like, you idiot. And it's like, you're actually not an idiot. You just have this, this.
I get so delusional about how much I can get done in a day.
It's your brain just works a little, you got ADHD. And so your time, but now I do feel like you're going to have to tell me this because I do not have ADHD. And so a big healing part of our marriage has been me learning that I cannot compare myself to you. I cannot be like, if I were to be doing this, I would be totally disregarding his situation.
This is a really big point. Yeah.
Yes, I would be. That's what I did for the first half of our marriage is like, oh my gosh, this is inconsiderate. This is so rude. But now I'm realizing he does not think like I think. And that's still a challenge because some of your version of ADHD can look really rude on the surface. However, I also think there is a mixture in there of, you can't blame it all on that, right? It's like, what is growing up as a human? What is going from boy to man? And then what is the ADHD? And how do you work with all three of those so that you don't remain in this situation of making choices that can hurt the people around you? Yeah.
Well, I think what you just said is huge because I have noticed a huge source of our fighting a lot of times. Historically, it has gotten better since our therapist kind of started walking us through this, was you would be kind of like, you made this choice and it hurts me so deeply because like, if I were this, it would carry so much more weight because it's like, you did it consciously and calculated. Right. Of like, you knew the situation I was in and you chose to do it anyway. I could see
that the babies were about to wake up and I'm leaving you in bed and I'm still going to go do the thing because I want to do the thing.
Because your brain would like play it all the way out and then go back and make that decision anyway.
Exactly. My brain without time blindness.
Yes. But with my brain, it doesn't even, for the only way I can describe it is like those dots just don't connect of like what's going to happen in 2 hours versus what's happening right now. It's like, oh, hey, the stars have aligned. This is the perfect moment. And I don't think about Well, wait, hold on. The wheels could fall off so hard in 30 minutes.
Well, not to mention, is denial a part of ADHD? Because I also think
Oh
that
yeah.
there were some pretty glaring, it wasn't picture perfect, right? This morning, it was pretty glaringly obvious that the wheels were about to come off and you were like, goodbye.
Yeah, but in my head, I'm like, it'll be good. Shepherd's gonna fall back asleep.
Yeah.
She's got this. It's fine.
It's okay. Now, is your positivity, is that you or is that ADHD?
That's probably a nice little cocktail.
Nice little Venn diagram.
Yeah. Coping and Venn diagram.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the title of this episode. But I think, yeah, I wonder if that is an ADHD
Well, it
thing.
must be. You know what it is? I think you are genuinely a positive person with or without ADHD. It's your superpower or one of them. But I also think that maybe that your ADHD version is less about just being positive and more about, I'm going to choose to believe the best thing so I can do what I want to go do.
Well, this
Is that correct?
Yes. And this is a weird cocktail as well, piggybacking off of that, of the denial and the positivity. But my version of ADHD or just my personality is like this hugely ungrounded sense of confidence.
Oh boy.
That is like,
I could
not only am I going to get all these things, like I can do all these things, but like I am about to freaking crush this.
Oh yeah.
Watch me work. And no joke, 15 minutes later, I am somewhere else completely.
Oh.
Like this morning, I was cooking eggs for you. And I was like, okay, while these are like getting started, I was cooking them on super low heat for the record. For the chefs
I just
out
know
there.
where this is
Back
going.
to Ratatouille. And so I was like, oh, okay, I've got probably like 2 minutes. I'm gonna go get the coffee started so that I can come back and then they'll be ready to flip. And then I get in the coffee kitchen and I'm in there. We have just like an offshoot of our kitchen.
Nook.
Yeah, we have like a nook. And so I'm making the coffee and I get in there and I start like, get the ratios, get the weight, get the water just right.
Coffee is art. Coffee is art.
And I was fully in Remy mode, artiste.
Remy was also a barista.
He was.
Remy, that's
didn't know.
Ratatouille too.
Yeah.
The espresso lounge.
And then I hear this bubbling and you go, hey, the egg's supposed to be burning. And I was like, oh God. Then I ran back out there.
You forgot the second thing that made me ask you that was, I have this thing for breastfeeding, for pumping. And he's like, hey, so do you want me to put the milk in that today or something else? And I was like, there's eggs on the stove. I've already heard him making the coffee prior to asking that question. I was like, is he about to wash a dish in there before he comes back to these eggs that are certainly burning?
The eggs had completely disappeared. I had no memory at all.
Okay, now let me just say this. That's the hardest part of that, being your partner, is that you then, so you have these expectations of yourself. And I think part of your growth that is, I am starting to see, but something that has been hard for yourself and for me, is you will get really frustrated that you can't attempt or that you can't complete these impossible tasks and lists. Like you'll be like, oh, I just thought we were going to be able to chisel another face on Mount Rushmore today. Like, I don't understand why.
Why are these kids so freaking demanding?
Yes, you
of my time.
You kind of let yourself live there. But I absolutely, Jake, are you in a different place with this stuff than you were a year ago? 5, like you are just growing so much in it. Which I wonder how that works on a brain scan type of thing, because growing as a human is one thing, but you're battling your own brain. ADHD is like, your brain looks different than mine.
Yeah.
Your brain is wired differently. This is what I know from Dr. Amen on Instagram.
Well, yeah, he said that like when you try to go to focus mode, your frontal lobes just turn off.
Right. So
that's the thing that like keeps you locked in.
I know. And so this is a whole other conversation, because there's obviously a lot of different.
We'll have Dr. Amen on.
We'll have
podcast.
Dr. Amen next week. Yeah, he's going to be so lucky to be here. But obviously this is a whole other conversation, because there's so many ways to cope with ADHD. Medication, or
coping is healthy.
Well, I always agreed with you. It's just I've been brainwashed, and so I think though that I will say, you have really, I don't know. I wonder if that's like a neuroplasticity thing. Is your brain actually changing as you grow in these things? Or is it, because ADHD medication isn't going to help you with that part of ADHD. No. It's not going to help you with that. It's going to help you focus. Dr. Rach MD is not here. I don't know what I'm saying, because I don't know anything. I don't know much about ADHD medication, but from what I do know, it's not going to help you with that part of it.
No.
But you've grown in that part of it.
Well, I think it's,
and that's your growth as a human.
Yeah, I think I'm just learning a lot more about the ADHD tendencies, and I'm able to kind of like, obviously not perfectly because I literally did it this morning, but I'm able to kind of see the end of the road more than I used to. Because the thing that gets me stuck so much is that I don't look down. I don't look at the end. I don't even look to an hour from now. I only am looking at right now, and right now anything is possible, baby. I can get it all done.
Such a, this is where it's tricky with you, is in your Venn diagram, is that's a part of you as well that I absolutely love, that really enriches my life, is your energy and your brain in that way is really amazing to be with and to be around, and you actually do achieve so much. So I'm wondering, is it hard for you as a person to be like, what's me and what's the ADHD? Does that stress you out? That would stress me out, but maybe that's because my brain works differently. But does that stress you out?
It doesn't stress me out. No. Well, I think what it can become though is an
An
scapegoat.
excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can blame my own immaturity on it's just that's the ADHD thing.
So how do you tell the difference?
Like this morning, the eggs. I can almost laugh at it because it's like, okay, that's clearly just the way my brain is wired, because those eggs, they disappeared. However, what I do know about myself, and this is something that's immature, if those were my eggs, I would not have forgotten. No chance. Because I'm so focused on meeting my own needs.
Love you. Very big admission.
I'm so focused
on
getting
everyone here.
I'm focused on getting my own needs met.
That is an ADHD thing, though. I've read about that.
Yeah, it is. It's there's a
self-focus, would you say?
Very self-absorbed. Yeah, that is a kind of
but
an
it's
ADHD
also survival. It doesn't.
It's distorted. It is like there's a hyperfixation on meeting my own needs and a hyper attunement to what I'm physically feeling. Like I hate the feeling of being tired or being low, and so I'm like hyper attuned to the way my body and energy levels are feeling, which is why I have abused coffee so much over the last 10 years. But I'm much healthier now. But I think that though that's just one example of like getting healthier habits and being able to kind of like see underneath the hood a little bit to say like, okay, hold on. This is a pattern that my brain, which has ADHD tendencies, naturally goes towards, but I'm going to learn from this mistake. And instead of taking on 20 things, saying automatically yes to anything and everything that comes across the table today, I'm going to say, whoa, hold on. I do have 3 kids. I do have a wife that needs my attention. I probably don't have time to do all these things today. So instead of saying yes to all of those, I'm going to actively look at like what my schedule can allow for, say yes to this one thing. And that's with other people, but even with myself, I'm learning in the last couple days of like, okay, even though I would love to go for a good long run and just.
You were about to do like 7 miles. I think
yeah,
you were going to be gone till 9
I was going to be gone for an hour and 15 minutes for sure. But I'm fully, but like I have to learn to be reasonable and realistic with myself and say like, hey, though that's what your desire is, it is okay to just say like, hey, right now in this chunk of time probably isn't the time you're going to get a lot of that done. And that's okay. Because you can. And then in a month, in 6 weeks, in 2 months, you'll be able to run again.
Okay. And then that's your version of coping in that moment, because you do need that soothing, that part of yourself that is anxious about not achieving this impossible list or just impossible task in the moment. Coping is hey, you can do it in an hour, or you can right now. You can do this. You can go flip the. You know what I'm saying? It's like giving yourself smaller, more manageable tasks that will then meet that need inside to do something. Okay, I have a question and a thought. Don't forget. Okay, so
question and thought. I also have a thought to piggyback off of what you just said too.
Well,
so I'll pin that one here.
What's the key word?
Tasks.
Okay, so. This is just the thought, and probably going to sound like an idiot because I'm not a doctor here. But I'm wondering.
Dr. HMD is back.
You're right. That's the new segment. So I'm wondering if it is less helpful to look at someone with ADHD tendencies and to separate them from the ADHD. I'm wondering if it's more about just accepting this is just actually how my brain is formed, just like my brain. Rachel's brain is formed one way, and someone else, Daniel, who also doesn't have ADHD, think. Okay, doesn't. I was about to out him.
Publicly.
His brain is going to look different than mine, even though neither of us have that. So maybe it's less helpful to distinguish these things, you know, and say like, oh, this is you and this is your ADHD, and just say, this is how my brain works. And in the same way, other people with ADHD tendencies, it's similar to you. But I do think it's almost like, this is just who I am. This is how I work, because you are able to mature these parts of you, and to just put it down to a diagnosis might not be helpful sometimes, because then it is really easy to remain stuck there. And
Yeah.
you know, does that make sense?
I'm understanding your question now. I think.
Well, that was the thought, but does that does that thought make sense?
Absolutely. I think.
Like, does that help? What would help you? I don't have this. So
Well,
for
I
you,
think-
does it help you to separate it, or is it more helpful to just say, this is how my brain works, and I'm going to grow this brain? You're not even the ADHD parts of your brain aren't stuck there.
No,
they can grow.
They can grow.
But I think
like
it's
you
easy
said-
to get, you know.
Like you said with neuroplasticity, I fully believe that like God made our brain chemistry able to change, and that is like
No, he did.
beautiful.
But I think it's really easy when you get a label to think, well, this part of me though is just broken. And
That's
so
why I try to say I have ADHD tendencies. Because someone told me that. I don't know
I
if
think
it was
it was
you
Dr. Amen.
or Dr. Amen. Like what you speak over yourself, your body
Believes.
sounds a little
Maybe that
woo-woo,
wasn't him. I
but
feel
like your body actually does believe it. And so if you claim like I have ADHD, this is it, your body starts to just say like, yeah, well, all right. Sweet.
I mean, it's pretty
can't
amazing if
change.
you think about it, but it's also very, I mean, it's biblical. Watch your words. Your words
Yeah,
create.
your words,
Yeah.
like the power of life and death is
Yeah.
in the tongue.
But
right?
I also just think I read this thing a long time ago that remained with me, fixed versus limited thinking. And fixed thinking is, I have ADHD. This is just the way I am.
Stuck. That's what it
Stuck.
is.
Did I say limited? Fixed versus limitless, was it?
Growth
not-
mindset versus fixed mindset.
Wow,
That's
growth
what it was.
versus mindset.
was the
Not
background of my computer
Bradley
for like a
Cooper's
year.
movie, Limitless. Okay.
The most ADHD
Oh.
movie ever.
If Jake could be anyone, it'd be him. But
Movie's totally about Adderall.
growth mindset is exactly what you're talking about. It's pretty obvious once you lay it out. But yeah. Okay, so I need to stop differentiating then, because I keep doing that.
Well,
to you.
no, I think what I was going to say in response to that was yes and no. I think you have to embrace like what you're saying at the beginning of your journey, your journey to kind of getting healthier with ADHD, especially as an adult. Because I've learned that like adult ADHD kind of manifests different because your responsibilities are just different. Like you have
And
actual.
also in men versus women, it
Yeah.
manifests differently.
And so I always just laughed it off, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I just can't like focus."
Which, by the way, I did for you too. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, every kid I went to school with had ADHD.
Yeah, but then our therapist was kind of like, "This is really detrimentally affecting your life, and it's time to like start getting healthier." And so it's like, okay. So I think at the beginning of this journey, I kind of had to just say, "All right, this is the brain I have. I'm not going to blame it on ADHD. I'm not going to throw a blanket, an umbrella on it. I am going to just say I need to mature in these areas that are underdeveloped in my brain, in the way that I've been living, in the way that I've been, whatever the reason of it is, if it's your environment, your culture you came up in, whatever. There were parts of me that were severely underdeveloped and were negatively affecting our marriage, my career, my life, my friendships for sure. Were just falling off left and right. And that wasn't like burning bridges, but I was like just losing touch with people who mean so much to me.
Yes, yeah.
And it was my fault. But so all this to say, at the beginning, I had to kind of say, this is just who I am. I need to learn this stuff. And then with 3 or 4 years now of a lot of growth, there are still brick walls that I keep running into. And I feel like in the last 6 months, I've been kind of like, okay, I'm now at a point where I've grown a lot, but there are some things I feel like I just need a little extra help, because that's where I can see like, oh, there are things in the wiring of my brain that really.
It's like you need someone with an astigmatism needs glasses.
You need some
you
glasses.
wouldn't be like, hey, just grow through that.
Yeah, just
like,
push,
no,
just try harder,
Yeah,
and you're going to be able to see straight.
You just need the glasses.
Yeah.
Someone with diabetes just needs their insulin. Like,
and so that's when I started being like, okay, I need now to maybe find some solutions with a little extra support to help these things. And so I think it's like both are true.
Yeah. Well, and I would say, because I've again, like I said, as some of your most stereotypical ADHD tendencies, I've seen so much growth in. And then
thank you. Like what?
Just
we always talk about how it's like, dang, dude, you got to get it together.
no.
I come to you being like, I'm so frustrated. I made a list for myself of 26 things, and you're kind of like, yeah, of course you didn't
make
get
the
that
list.
done.
The list itself is the problem. But I think in your ability to, the biggest area I've seen it is the denial area and the ability to come off of the denial train, where like before you're on a train 1,000 miles away, like you couldn't even look at the issue and it felt, that was problematic. And then now you can be like, okay, I can see that I was doing this. I really shouldn't have expected myself to do 100 things. I can come down, I can calm down, I can take care of myself in a healthy way. That versus 2 weeks later being like, okay, maybe it was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, and obviously
that's just been, trial by fire. I've just had to learn that from making the mistake over and over and over. Yeah, but denial is a tricky one.
Denial is a tricky one unless you're married. And then it becomes very easy.
Unless you're married to someone like you who will say it. And you're like, hey, you are wrong here. You are in denial. And I am so grateful for that because I know so many couples who the other partner is just afraid to rock the boat.
Sure.
And you you got your sledgehammer at all times and you're like, let's rock this freaking boat because I'm not going to sit in a boat that's not going the right way. And I love that. I need that.
Well, you have also become that for me, which I appreciate because I don't know that I have denial as much, but I have my own issues, which you also obviously helped me through. But yeah, okay. So my other question is because you are the stereotypical, well, I'm really thinking about like at Carlisle Elementary, what I was believing about ADD, which it was ADD back then. And it was like, oh, they're just super hyper and can't sit still, which was you from stories I've heard. 100%. But you are very, very able to sit and work. And if you had all the time in the world, you would get immense amounts done. You're very the opposite of lazy. And what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost you're going to love this word. Come on, brain. Where you're not prodigal.
Prodigy?
No. Okay, prodigy. Yes, he's a prodigy. You are a prodigy. You are. No. Where you're so good at something, it almost like sets a record. I really have to think of this word or it's going to kill me.
Savant?
No.
I'm not a savant.
Yes, he is also a savant. Yes, he's also a savant.
Productive? I don't know.
It is in that world. You're almost especially productive. It's like, I really...
Hyperproductive?
No, it's a very pretty word.
Ooh.
It's going to kill me that I can't think of it.
It'll come back.
It won't come back. It'll come back in 2 days. Okay. You're just especially good at being productive. And there's a fancy word for it, but I can't think of. And it's... I'm like, is that a stereotypical ADHD thing?
Yeah, from what I've learned now is that ADHD brains are actually really high functioning when it's something that's interesting to them. When it's something that's not interesting, that's where you get the kind of joke version of ADHD where it's like, oh yeah, Carl can't finish a freaking basic task.
You're not like that because yes, okay, you are. There's also so much of this that's just normal. Everything's a spectrum because some of this is just typical man's versus woman stuff.
Well, yeah, but when I'm not genuinely, the thing I saw it really lock in on was when I started making music, I could focus on it for hours and hours.
Okay, wait, but hold on. Before you go, that was my whole point is you also are extremely good about getting things done around the house. You're unbelievably, like we are such equal partners and everything. And I never once in our marriage felt like you don't carry the weight. Like if anything, I'm like, he's got a lot of weight over there. I should probably take some of those pounds off of him. But like you are not, you have a massive capacity.
Wow, thank you.
Wouldn't you know this about yourself?
Lately,
I feel like it's like calling the clouds white.
No, lately I've been feeling the opposite of that.
Sometimes the clouds are gray, I guess.
They're black. And I'm just like...
No, you're confusing your lack of time right now and energy because you're not sleeping and you have a new baby. That's the ADHD, or that's your, I don't know, that's your problem, is you're expecting things of yourself that are ridiculous in this time.
Yes, I have such unrealistic expectations.
And that's where you do need a massive growth because I do think that part of you still feels like, what do you mean? Yeah. You're doing so much right now. You just aren't.
It also feels very entitled. It's like an underdeveloped thing of like, I feel entitled to be able to accomplish my tasks for the day. And it's it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because I put this unrealistic expectation on my own time, and then I get mad at everybody else for stopping
we're all
me from
involved
being
in your
able to
time.
do it. And it's I think that's this postpartum has been by far the most revealing thing of my underdeveloped sense of that is just entitlement around my own time and expectation for things that I'm going to get done, where I maturely need to say like, hey, right now, all I am is dad and husband. I'll be a songwriter in a few weeks. I'll focus on fitness in a few weeks, whatever. The thing is that I'm like fixated on getting done, and it's not my family's fault that I can't get an unrealistic. It's my fault for making the unrealistic expectation. It's not their fault for stopping me.
Yeah,
from
but
doing
something else that you've done, and I think we've both done, but I think it's right in tandem with what we're talking about with you right now, is because your version of all or nothing becomes, I can't work my 8 hours a day right now.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm just going to throw it all away instead of, okay, where in our day can I go get my run and can I get these couple hours of things done? Because that's doable. But you're only looking at like this massive scale of things. And it's like, well, yeah, right now you're on your, we're on paternity, maternity leave, but you can definitely work.
You're completely right.
Yeah. And I completely relate because unless I can sit and write the whole script.
Nah, I will toot your horn here. You are really good at that. You are really good at being like, I can squeeze in 30 minutes here. I can get a little bit of this done. I don't have to have these.
Can you give me an example of when
when you wrote that script in 30-minute chunks, postpartum with Ruby, like that's a good example. For me, I'm kind of like exactly what you just said. Unless I can get 6 unbroken hours, why even start?
Okay, so my area where I'm all or nothing is emotions. Your area where all or nothing is practical work and like working out.
Tangible stuff. Yeah.
Tangible.
Yeah, and it can't be.
Back to the Venn diagram.
It can't be a lesser version. It has to be the perfect version. So like if I'm gonna go run.
Now with working out, you're not like that though. You've already done how many push-ups today?
Okay, don't out me here.
He's done 100 push-ups before.
I've only done 75. Sorry.
75. You better get to 100 right now. Drop down.
But like
I see working out. I will not. I'm all or nothing. I'm terribly, terribly all or nothing with working out. You will go do your little machine ab thingy out there with the kids. What's it called?
It's called a GHD.
It's called a GHD. He bought it used off Facebook Marketplace.
For those closet CrossFitters
and it is
out there.
Huge and moving. We have moved
It was
this
a
thing
huge mistake.
more than
I
even want to think about.
It's a massive mistake.
Jake's got abs. So you
but maybe it keeps me looking good.
You'll work out. It's really just work where you're like, unless I can,
Yeah, and I'll be like, well, there's no point. Right?
Yeah, and I'm like, just tell me that from 2 to 4 you need to work, even if the baby's
from 2 to 2:30. I'm gonna go kick an idea around for 30 minutes, and that gets something done.
Now, do you think that's about the all or nothing thing, or do you think that that's more about codependency with me?
Oh, that's a whole nother episode. I'm not even kidding.
Yes, but it's probably more that. You're assuming
both.
Yes.
I would say it's probably 70%.
He assumes
codependency.
This is a massive frustration that we work through. And by the way, Jake has a lot of frustrations with me too. Okay, so
you are a perfect angel. I've never been frustrated.
Okay, please. You assume that I do or don't want something and act off of that assumption without ever communicating it to me. And then by the time you do communicate it, even if I don't like it, at least I'm the one telling you that. But when you do tell me, often I'm like, yes, go do that thing. That doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
But he assumes that I'm the wicked witch in the corner who's like, let me get my whip out and I'll strike you 4 times and then you may leave. Okay, the laugh is too long and quiet. It's like you're laughing that hard that noise wasn't coming.
There is so much in that I really want to like
maybe next week
make a whole episode out of it, because like I don't think I've searched the internet for resources on the kind of codependency.
He's a special kind of codependency.
It is unique. But there's not a whole lot of resources for what my particular cocktail.
Maybe that's the book you're gonna write. Codependency with Jake.
Codependency with Rachel.
Okay. Yeah. That's the whole thing.
But back to ADHD. Which is not what we planned to talk about today, but here we are.
No, but I think this was, coping mechanisms into mental health,
Yeah. Neurodivergency is what they would call me in the streets.
I know. You are neurodivergent.
But what I've been kind of circling back to Did you have a thought that you were finishing? Because I have mine still
No, I
pinned
still
back
can't
here.
think of that word, and it's killing me. Oh, tasks. Bring it
Tasks,
back.
yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh, no.
No, hold on, I've got it. So basically, like I think one of the things that I have learned in my getting healthier with ADHD is that incomplete tasks actually make it way worse. It like creates this what's the word
Cognitive
called?
dissonance?
Cognitive dissonance. When I can't complete a task.
Which all humans have that.
Yeah,
but it's way worse for you.
It creates a forest fire in my
Yeah.
brain. Like it is. Even in this moment right now, it's like if I've got I'm in the middle of sweeping this mess up in the kitchen, and then I've got I got to change a diaper over here, and then Shepard just destroyed something in the other room. If like having 3 incomplete tasks in that moment, I short circuit. Like I can't balance it all. It's not like, okay, hold on, I'll do this and then I'll go.
And you're not good at saying, hey, Rachel, can you, you're in the other room nursing, but after that, can you do this thing? You take it all on yourself.
Yeah. Or I'll, with the kind of like expectation, the unhealthy expectations I have on the day, it's like, okay, great. Well, I'll do this thing that's going to be, if that's a 4-hour job and I think I can do it in 45 minutes. And I'll be like, cool, I'm going to do that thing. And then I'm going to do this thing. And I'm going to do that thing. And I start one and I realize, oh no, I can't get that done. And then I go on to the next. And I'm like, I can't get that one done either. So I have these like half finished jobs. That makes the ADHD tendency in my brain flare really hard. And it's almost like this like self-destructive.
Well, and I think
spiral.
you have a mean voice inside that's like, you idiot. You can't do anything. You have no time.
Are a piece. You are worthless. You are nothing like.
And worse than that, I think it can turn toward your family too.
Yeah, I start taking my anger. Start taking the anger that I have with myself.
But I'll just feel like,
I just get irritable, and I'm like, I'm just frustrated, and I hear this voice in my head being like, well, it's their fault that you can't get these things done. And I'm like, hold up, cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one who'd put these crazy unrealistic expectations on yourself. So like, if you're going to blame someone, you better blame yourself. And that is a thing. I don't know if that's like a typical ADHD tendency, but that is a huge one for me. But I've learned if I do actually make realistic, mature commitments with myself and with you or other people, and I get them done, it's like
drugs.
It is like a drug of it's a great coper.
Yeah.
Great coping mechanism of like, I get this sense of accomplishment of even like, oh man, I did it. I completed that task. I feel so good right now.
And by the way, that's neurodivergent or not. That is human nature. Like we all need that. But I think what I'm hearing from you is that for you, the way your brain is wired, that's extremely important.
It's very good. Yeah. It's very,
and what I lack, I definitely will get stressed, but it seems like everything I experience, or maybe my non-neurodivergent brain experiences, yours experiences on volume 10. Because for me, it's like, yes, I hate when I try to do 3 things and none of them get accomplished, and that's frustrating. But I can cope with that. I can handle that. Whereas for you, it becomes this.
I short circuit.
Yeah, and that's
out.
Yeah.
And you see it, and you have the wherewithal to be like, hey, what's going on here? Because like you're unreasonably irritable right now for something that's your fault, and you say it not that bluntly, but
I mean,
you help me. You help me see it, and it's helped me. Have gotten it down, but getting better.
Yeah.
At being like, okay, I need to think here before I jump into this. What can I actually do? Because it's going to set me up for success. If I take on commitments that I can actually follow through on, then it will fuel the tank to be able to follow through on more.
Yeah.
Because if I am constantly falling short, it makes me have this all or nothing mentality of just like, well, whatever.
Well,
like,
and then you don't build trust with yourself. I think this is also about building trust with yourself, that I can trust that what I set out to do, not in an unrealistic way, but I'm going to, if I commit to something, I will follow through with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think before we wrap this up too, the last thing I do want to say that I want to work on with you is that you have done for me, that I've noticed in this past few months, is when I'm in a spiral of my own immature tendencies, whatever you want to call it. I've noticed you're starting to not, like, I'll be in a place where I'm like, oh, I'm snapping, or I'm doing my thing that I know is wrong. And you have stopped pointing out, oh, you're in this place or you're doing that. And you've just kind of held space for me, which is so massive, and it helps me come down. And I feel like I need to get better at that with you. when you're in this spiral, holding space for you, because I think I don't trust that you see it, and you've started trusting that I see it in myself, and then because we all see it, right? Most of us can see when we're in a wacko place.
You want to know something that's really helped me?
Go on.
Genuinely, this is a therapist, Jake. Is I have the instinct to say it.
Yeah.
And I've literally tangibly started being like, God, you bring it up. I'm not going to bring it up. You bring it up to her. If she needs to know, she knows.
Well,
I know
now,
she knows.
Shouldn't have told me. Now I'm going to look at him big. So you praying that God's going to bring this up, doggy?
But
because
like if I see you do it, whatever the thing is, if I could tell you're in your pattern.
Yeah, my pattern.
Instead of, because it is just gas on the fire if I say something.
It's gas on the fire for anyone.
anyone.
I'm sure it doesn't help, but I don't have the self-control yet or the trust to not say it to you, because I think the fear is, which is why your prayer is helpful, is that we're just going to be left with this person who's constantly doing the same spiral if we don't say something.
Yeah.
Instead of
But I know you see it. Like you're very, very, very self-aware of like, when you're in an unhealthy place, or not even an unhealthy place, but when you're in the pattern.
Yeah, but sometimes I can bury myself there. So I can understand why you would want, but that has really helped me. And I think I need to start down that path with you of, especially because we have conversations like this so often and we've done so much therapy work together that we can really therapize each other, which is amazing, but also not always the moment. And I think I'm going to take a page from your book as you're describing to me what you go through and just be that gentle space holder for you, which is hard. It sounds all cute and calm. It is not. I'm sure it's hard for you when you do it.
You're painting me a lot better than it actually is.
Well, actually, you've been really amazing. And now I am postpartum, so you better be gentle, Who knows where
stakes are high.
Where a hormonal lady might go.
There's been some hilarious moments.
Oh, hilarious. But I've noticed it. I don't even remember.
Last night we were sitting there and Daly was fussy and it was just like, we were all just kind of chilling, having dinner, and he starts fussing, and you were nursing him, and it was tough, and it was like, what's going on? And he just looked at me, and you go, it is so hot. Like,
do you notice that sounds like a beast?
Like,
how you, a beastly woman? Listen, it was hot. The sweet boy he was upset, and I was upset.
It was just so funny because I was like, this is like slam dunk hormonal moment, but you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to call it a hormonal moment.
But he'll do it on the podcast the next day. I just went to the
thermostat. I turned it down a couple clicks.
You did. It got so freezing. I was like, turn the air down. Why is this on?
Why is it so cold?
Yeah, honestly, though, the hormones have chilled out. I feel like I was much more hormonal during pregnancy. I think we said that.
Oh, yeah. No.
That's okay.
We're not going to go there.
We're going to move right through. So I'm going to trust God. You show him that this is terrible. And
You bring it up. I'm not going to bring it up. You bring it up.
Anyway, I love you. This is actually so helpful for me to have these kind of conversations with you, because I think it's rare, we have snippets of these, but to get to sit down and it gives me empathy. We all have our issues and we all have our hangups. This is just life on earth, and going gentle with each other and trusting each other. Like, I trust that Jake sees this and that he's got this. And if I need to say something, I'll know the time,
Yeah.
I think that's our way forward.
That is the way forward.
As we cope with the moment we're in.
Coping, baby.
Healthy coping. What's your healthy cope going to be today?
Today?
Mm-hmm.
I know you promised me that I'm going to run.
Yes.
However, we are moving house today. So I need to sit down and really think like, hey.
You can go for a run.
I know I can, but
see, this is your thing where you're not.
Is it the best use?
Jake.
Is it the best use of my time? Even though
we're not moving today.
Should I do it?
You should do it.
But even having that internal dialogue is something I need to do rather than.
Sorry.
I've got this task that's just floating in the background, causing me anxiety. And it's like, hey, when are we going to do this?
All right. Don't mean to get in the way of your health, but you can definitely do it.
Get behind me.
So your run will be your thing.
This is
we move next Wednesday, so you can definitely go for a 30-minute
run.
Even an hour.
There's so much to do.
Mine will be, I'm going to have a second cup of coffee. And I don't know, that's in the mid area. I don't know that that's like, healthy girly. But for me, having a coffee is art. And it has felt very calming for me to get to have my latte each day.
Yes.
Cappuccino.
And while we're on the very important topic, don't drink bad coffee. If you're going to drink coffee, make it good, okay? Spend $3 extra.
That's what Ruby
You
said
have
right
the
after
money.
she said coffee is art. And you have money.
Anyway.
Okay, next week we'll talk about codependency. That'll be a real
Love
fun
ya.
ride.
This is very unexpected but fun.
Love
you. Say goodbye to this room forever.
Oh, say goodbye to this room, you guys, to wrap up Jake's PSA from the beginning.
Yeah.
I know you're all
Bringing
attached.
it back. Bringing it back.
This couch is coming with us, though. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Prolific.
The word is prolific.
She found it.
Jake, I didn't find it. Our lovely producer, Bestie, found it. Jake is prolific at being productive. Wow, and it's an alliteration as well.
We're going to find a way to put this
Prolific. I literally,
snip.
if I couldn't see, this is where my brain has neurodivergence. If I can't wrap something up, like it was like, I need to find this word by the end of the episode. And I thought to myself, health is letting it go. Turns out I didn't have to. Prolific.
Bye.